Hey, Bears fans. We are stepping into one of the most anticipated matchups of the preseason as Chicago heads to Kansas City to take on the Chiefs at the legendary Arrowhead Stadium. The energy and intensity of this venue is well known, and even in a preseason setting, the roar of the crowd can test a quarterback's composure, a receiver's focus, and an offensive line's cohesion. Caleb Williams will be under center, facing a true starting defense for perhaps the first time in meaningful preseason action. While his performance against the Bills last week was impressive, much of that came against second-string defenders, and now he will be tested against Patrick Mahomes' first-team defense, a unit that has consistently ranked among the league's best over the last several years. This matchup represents not just a chance for Caleb to show his skills, but an opportunity for the Bears coaching staff to evaluate how the entire first-team offense responds to a real, live defensive challenge in a loud, high-pressure environment. The stadium, even without a prime-time regular season crowd, will present challenges that are impossible to replicate in practice or during early preseason games. The snap count, the speed of the defensive line, the precision of coverage in the secondary, and the timing of each route will all be amplified in this setting, and it will be fascinating to see how quickly the Bears starters can adjust to these conditions. Last week, Caleb Williams demonstrated impressive accuracy and poise, completing 6 of 10 passes for 107 yards and a touchdown against the Bills. While a few throws were disrupted by drops and minor mishaps, the overall performance suggested a quarterback who is ready to handle more responsibility. Yet, stepping into Arrowhead presents a completely different challenge. The Chiefs' defensive starters are fast, disciplined, and experienced, capable of creating pressure from multiple angles and disguising coverage schemes to confuse quarterbacks. Williams will need to process the field quickly, make decisive throws, and maintain composure under a constant onslaught of noise and movement. For offensive coordinator Ben Johnson and the coaching staff, this is an opportunity to see how the first-team offense operates when the margin for error shrinks, when timing is tested, and when every decision carries greater weight. The key will not necessarily be perfection, but how effectively the unit can sustain drives, exploit matchups, and adapt to in-game challenges. The snap count will be a critical storyline to watch. Last week, the Bears' offensive starters saw 14 snaps, and the defensive starters barely got on the field, recording only 3 plays before being rotated out. This time around, there is speculation that the first-team units may see more action, possibly ranging between 15 to 20 snaps for each side of the ball. That could translate to anywhere from 2 to 4 drives, depending on the flow of the game, 3 and outs, and how quickly the ball moves through both offenses. Head coach Andy Reid is known for managing starter snaps carefully, often extending action if he believes the matchup warrants it. For the Bears, this could mean the offense gets an extended opportunity to test its timing and coordination, while the defense could finally have a chance to face a live quarterback with real velocity and anticipation. Fans will be watching closely, analyzing each snap, each read, each adjustment, and each interaction between the offensive line and defensive front. The level of performance here could be indicative of how the Bears might respond under similar circumstances during the regular season, giving the coaching staff valuable insights for Week 1 planning. Roster bubble storylines also add an extra layer of intrigue to this matchup, with the final preseason game serving as the last real audition for many players. Those fighting for roster spots will be looking to make a strong impression. There are over 20 players on the Bears bubble this year, spanning multiple positions including receivers, tight ends, offensive linemen, edge rushers, defensive tackles, and cornerbacks. Each snap they earn could be their last chance to demonstrate value to the coaching staff, whether through explosive plays, consistent technique, or simply showing that they can execute their assignments with minimal error. Receivers like Devin Duvalier and Tyler Scott will be closely watched for route precision and hands reliability. On the offensive line, players like Braxton Jones, Kranagi, and Doug Kramer are under the microscope as coaches evaluate who can provide stability and protection at the line of scrimmage. Defensively, rookies and veterans alike, from Dominique Robinson to Jonathan Ford, will need to show they can hold their assignments, create pressure, and make impactful plays when opportunities arise. For fans, The roster battles can be just as exciting as the marquee quarterback matchups because they represent the future of the team and who might emerge as a surprise contributor when the season officially begins. The left tackle position is another storyline worth following. Braxton Jones has been getting consistent reps with the first-team offensive line and seems poised to lock down the starting left tackle role heading into Week 1. While Theo Benedict has also seen time with the first team, Jones' performance over the last 2 preseason games suggests the coaches are leaning in his favor. The right tackle position continues to see development with players like Aussie Trapillo gaining experience, but it appears he will not start Week 1, giving the Bears coaching staff time to evaluate depth and consistency. Offensive line play will be pivotal in this matchup against the Chiefs' defensive front, particularly as Caleb Williams faces a pass rush designed to test the edges and create confusion in the backfield. Watching how Jones and the line communicate, adjust to stunts, and maintain pass protection will give fans a window into the team's readiness to handle regular season pressure. Special teams will also provide storyline intrigue, particularly the return game. Devin Duavier, if he makes the final roster, appears to be the front-runner for punt and potentially kick returns. His ability to handle the ball safely and create explosive plays will be critical for field position and momentum. Other players, including Luther Burton and Kyle Monangai, could also see opportunities depending on roster decisions and injury situations. Coaches often use the final preseason game to test special teams' depth and versatility, giving younger players a chance to shine while maintaining readiness for key contributors. How the Bears manage these duties could have ripple effects on their overall performance once the regular season begins, particularly in terms of maintaining energy, field position, and creating scoring opportunities off returns. This game, while technically a preseason contest, carries high stakes in terms of evaluation, confidence building, and preparation. The Bears coaching staff will use each drive to measure adaptability, resilience, and execution in a controlled yet challenging environment. Fans will be able to see how well the first-team offense flows under pressure, how the defense responds to a high-caliber quarterback, and which player sees the final opportunity to impress before roster cuts. The nuances of each play, the adjustments made between drives, and the leadership displayed on the field will all contribute to a clearer picture of the Bears' readiness for the season ahead. As we continue to break down this Bears versus Chiefs preseason showdown, one of the most intriguing aspects will be how Chicago's defensive starters handle the challenge of Patrick Mahomes and his dynamic offensive weapons. Mahomes is notorious for his ability to extend plays, read defenses pre- and post-snap, and make throws that seem impossible in the blink of an eye. The Bears' defense, even with its first-team starters, will need to maintain discipline, communicate flawlessly, and avoid giving up big plays that can shift momentum. This is a critical evaluation point for both the coaching staff and the players themselves. For younger defenders or those on the roster bubble, this will be a chance to demonstrate their ability to react under pressure, maintain assignments, and showcase instincts that could translate into regular season success. The Chiefs' offense has a mix of veteran talent and emerging stars, and watching how the Bears match up with different personnel packages will offer insight into depth, versatility, and coaching strategy. Linebackers and edge defenders will also be under the microscope. The ability to recognize offensive schemes, anticipate runs versus passes, and close gaps in the running game is essential for Chicago to keep Mahomes from exploiting opportunities outside the pocket. Players such as Dominique Robinson and Ten Passino, along with other defensive linemen, will have to execute precise technique while maintaining stamina across multiple drives. The pace at which the Chiefs operate could force adjustments, and watching how the Bears rotate personnel, manage fatigue, and adapt to in-game scenarios will be one of the key storylines for this matchup. Each play, even in the preseason context, will provide valuable insights into who is prepared for the speed, physicality, and mental challenge of the regular season. Turning to the offensive side, the Bears' wide receivers will have a critical role in Caleb Williams' development and confidence building. Receivers like Devin Duavier, Tyler Scott, and Jay Walker will be working to secure roster spots while also proving they can execute timing routes, create separation against starting caliber cornerbacks, and maintain concentration in high-pressure situations. Each target thrown, each contested catch, and each adjustment to the quarterback's timing will be under scrutiny. Tight ends, including Steven Carlson and Joel Wilson, will need to display versatility, run effective blocks in the run game, and contribute reliably in the passing game. Their performance could make a significant difference in how the coaching staff views offensive cohesion, adaptability, and situational effectiveness moving forward. The offensive line, already under observation due to roster competition, will have to balance protecting the quarterback against a formidable pass rush while maintaining communication and execution in run blocking. Braxton Jones, likely securing the left tackle position, must demonstrate consistency, agility, and the ability to adjust to complex defensive schemes. The right tackle and interior lineman will also be pivotal in setting the tone for the Bears' first-team offense, as any breakdown could lead to turnovers, sacks, or stall drives. Observers will pay attention to the line's ability to handle stunts, blitzes, and disguise coverages, all of which are hallmarks of a top-tier defense like Kansas City's. Special teams will remain a subtle but important subplot during this game. Devin Duavier, if he secures a roster spot, could become the go-to punt and kick returner, providing a spark in field position and momentum for Chicago. Backup options like Luther Burton or Kyle Monangai may also receive opportunities to prove reliability, particularly if Duavier is limited due to injury or coaching decisions. Coaches often view the final preseason game as an opportunity to evaluate depth and versatility in special teams, testing which players can execute under pressure while maintaining awareness and discipline. Strong performances here could tip the balance for roster decisions, particularly for players on the edge of making the team. The interplay between first-team and second-team units will be interesting as well. While Caleb Williams and the starters face Mahomes and the Chiefs' primary defenders, the Bears' second-string players will also have a chance to demonstrate their abilities in real-time situations. This provides dual value. It allows coaches to assess developmental progress for the backups while keeping the starters fresh for key drives. Observing how quickly second-string players adjust, respond to unexpected scenarios, and maintain situational awareness can reveal hidden gems who might contribute significantly once the season begins. Fans should pay attention to players who show consistent technique, smart decision-making, and the ability to create plays despite limited experience or snaps. Before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on our Chicago Bears. And don't be shy. Drop your thoughts on the news in the comments below. The city of Chicago is buzzing with whispers, speculation, and a touch of disbelief as news circulates that Jadeveon Clowney, the highly regarded veteran pass rusher, may have just signed on to become the newest defensive weapon for the Bears heading into the 2025 NFL season. While the team has yet to make any loud, formal declaration, insiders close to the organization have hinted that the move is all but confirmed, with only final details still being polished behind the scenes. Fans across the league know the significance of Clowney's name, and pairing his physicality with the tradition of defensive grit in Chicago naturally sparks visions of a formidable front capable of rattling even the most composed quarterbacks. This rumor alone has set off a chain reaction of debates on talk radio, podcasts, and social media platforms, with analysts questioning whether Clowney, once a top overall draft pick, still has the explosiveness to wreak havoc in opposing backfields. Yet, there's a tone of cautious excitement in the air, one that suggests the Bears are taking bold steps to reestablish the defensive dominance that once defined their franchise identity. For years, the Bears faithful have longed for a resurgence of defensive ferocity, and whispers that Clowney will be suiting up in navy and orange ignite memories of legendary pass rushers who once stalked Soldier Field. It is not merely about one signing, but about what it symbolizes, a statement of intent from a team determined to shift its narrative. The 2025 offseason has been relatively quiet until this point, but the mere mention of Clowney joining the defensive line has jolted the conversation and reshaped expectations. His presence, even rumored, suggests that the Bears are doubling down on their belief that defense still wins championships. Speculation runs rampant about how Clowney's versatility, his ability to play standing up on the edge or slide into different alignments, could give Chicago's defensive coordinator the flexibility needed to disguise pressure packages and unsettle offensive lines. Critics, however, wonder if this is a gamble on reputation more than current production, pointing out that Clowney's career has been a roller coaster of flashes of dominance interspersed with stretches of inconsistency. Still, in Chicago's football culture, the possibility of unlocking even a portion of his potential feels tantalizing. Around league circles, the talk is not limited to Clowney's potential impact on the Bears' defensive schemes, but also the broader ripple effect across the NFC North. Rivals like the Packers, Vikings, and Lions are surely taking notice of the rumor, and whispers suggest their front offices are already recalculating protection schemes if the deal becomes official. In Green Bay, where quarterback Jordan Love is expected to take the next step, facing a revitalized Bears pass rush headlined by Clowney would change the calculus of divisional matchups. In Minnesota, a retooled offense could face immediate tests from Clowney's edge presence, while Detroit's rising offensive line might suddenly find themselves with another challenge to account for. League insiders note that Clowney's addition could have the psychological effect of restoring fear and respect for Chicago's front seven, a dynamic that has been absent for too long. It becomes not just about sacks and tackles for loss, but about forcing offenses into hurried decisions, bad throws, and costly mistakes. The rumor spreads like wildfire, becoming a topic not just for analysts, but for fans dreaming of Sundays where quarterbacks are left scrambling in panic under the relentless pressure of Chicago's defensive wave. Of course, every rumor carries its shadows, and skeptics are quick to raise concerns about Clowney's durability and long-term effectiveness. His career has been punctuated by injuries and stretches where production lagged behind expectation, raising the inevitable question: is this signing more about name recognition than actual results? Yet whispers suggest that Chicago's coaching staff believes Clowney still has the ability to change games, particularly in crucial moments where a single sack or forced fumble can swing momentum. The Bears have reportedly been monitoring his conditioning and work ethic closely, convinced that in the right environment, with proper rotation and support, Clowney could rediscover the disruptive force that once made him the most feared prospect in the country. Supporters point out that pairing him with younger defensive talents could reduce the physical toll and maximize his efficiency, making him more dangerous in limited bursts. At its core, the rumor captures the tension between skepticism and hope, between those who doubt he can still dominate and those who believe that in Chicago's defensive tradition, Clowney will find new fire. The uncertainty only fuels the intrigue, making every whisper feel like part of a larger, unfolding drama. Whether this story proves to be smoke or fire, one thing is certain: the chatter around Jadeveon Clowney and the Bears has given the NFL something to talk about during the long stretch of the offseason. Chicago's fan base, ever hungry for a return to relevance, seizes on every rumor, dissecting possible outcomes and imagining what Soldier Field might sound like with Clowney crashing off the edge. Across the league, rival fans dismiss it as another offseason headline inflated by hype, while Chicagoans cling to the possibility that this could be the beginning of a defensive revival. As the whispers grow louder, speculation merges with anticipation, and the lines between rumor and reality begin to blur. In the theater of professional football, sometimes the story itself matters almost as much as the truth, and the narrative of Clowney donning Bears colors is one too captivating to ignore. Whether he proves to be the missing piece or merely a fleeting headline, the rumor alone has shifted the conversation, reminding everyone that in Chicago, defense still defines the dream. And as the countdown to kickoff shortens, the city waits, eager to see whether this buzz transforms into bone-rattling tackles and quarterback sacks under the lights. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay updated with exclusive news about our Chicago Bears, be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that like button. We can't wait to hear your thoughts in the comments. See you in the next video.